to welcome to it as Game On, brought to you by Hollywood Bets, gets underway, and we've got plenty to talk about in the way of the Hollywood Bet Super League, which just got underway. We'll also be touching on an exciting weekend in as far as the DStv Premiership is concerned, including the Soweto Derby that's just around the corner from this show. But before we get to all of that, we'll focus on what's happening out in England and Germany, and to break all of that down for us, to have, of course, the pleasure of being alongside Shane Mcgregor. Now, Shane, before we get into it, of course, the South African football fraternity has been shocked by the sad news of the untimely passing of Siphiwe Mkhoza. Man, you worked with the Brio Stars. Sad news indeed for the South African footballing fraternity, from a player to a pundit, and a man who contributed a lot to South African football, yeah?
Yeah, very sad news, you know. I saw the news and I went cold, you know. It's not good. A gentleman, a real gentleman. Wasn't the most outspoken, wasn't very loud, but he led by example. He was my captain at Brio Stars. I saw him straight away that he had potential, and he's gone. Went on to be a pundit, and very good at that as well, you know. He's going to be sorely missed, gone too soon.
Yeah, so our thoughts and prayers definitely with the Mkhoza family as we keep things moving along now and move over to what's been happening out in England. And my oh my, is the race getting interesting there. Arsenal scoring goals by the half dozens, it would seem now, per game. 6-0 against Sheffield United. Motoring on, yeah?
Yeah, 6-0, you know, could have been 10, but at the end of the day, you know, they are scoring. They're a scoring machine at the moment, just seem to be getting the results. Everything going for them.
So many different goal scorers for them
but
as well.
But that's what's good. Different goal scorers. They're not relying on one goal scorer.
Yeah.
It's brilliant that they're sharing it around. As I say, could have been a lot more, but on a streak at the moment.
Certainly are. Now, it's interesting that the other teams in the race here are doing their bit in winning matches and going on winning runs. So the top three race is certainly exciting. City, it looked as though they were up against it when United went one up, but City, they come back and they score goals.
Come back and score goals, you know, and we saw Haaland as human, missed a very easy chance
he is
in
human
this game.
This season, yeah?
But, you know, the difference is between a good and a great player. As he bounced back, created, got a goal. That just shows the character of the man, you know. So, but yeah, they were too good for Man United at the end. You know, Man United did scare them, but too good for them at the end. And I was very surprised with Liverpool getting a victory over Nottingham Forest.
So many injuries.
So many injuries, injury worries going into this game.
Yeah.
Just ground it out. And this is what you need to do at this stage of the season. Just as long as you get that victory, you get the win. Doesn't matter how you do it. It can be ugly football, can be whatever you want to call it, as long as you get the results.
Have to ask you though, about Luton, Burnley and Sheffield right at the bottom. Well, for Burnley and Sheffield United on 13 points, Luton's on 20, so a bit of a gap there. But still, do you see any of those sides getting out of the trouble they seem to be in?
Out of those, the only one that's got a small chance, I feel, is Luton. You know, they have improved. I said beginning of the year that they were going to be the team gone and Burnley would stay. Unfortunately, I got that wrong.
Yeah.
But it's Sheffield, you look at them, they're minus 50 goal difference. They've got no chance. They're gone. They're history, so goodbye. And I think Burnley as well, you know, they stuck to the guns the way they played, but unfortunately they haven't been good enough. Luton might have a chance, but I can't see it. I think those three are the relegation boys.
Exciting times out in England. Last week we had the Manchester Derby. This week we're looking forward to Liverpool up against Manchester City, right at the top, and there's very little separating them. It's a huge game here in as far as the league race.
Well, massive game. You know, 1 point separate them at the moment. Going into this game, if Liverpool win, they go 4 points clear of Man City. Very vital. You know, vice versa. If Man City win 2 points clear, a difficult game to call. When you look at these two sides, they always give it their all. It's going to be a difficult game. I feel so much to play for Liverpool. It depends on their squad and who they come out and the players they bring in. If they can bring back some of the injured players, it'll be a decent game. They'll be happy with the draw, I think, Liverpool. But City are going to be hard to beat.
Have to ask you about one of the most entertaining sides since the turn of the year in Europe, and that's Arsenal. With the number of goals they're scoring, the type of football they're playing, they really are a joy to watch. They're at home to Brentford. Do you see that winning run continuing? Do you see that scoring run continuing?
Most definitely. I can't see anything else but an Arsenal victory. You know, I think it's just going to be a matter of how many. But you never know with Arsenal. They get their days where they're not scoring goals, but the way they're going at the moment, I think it's about how many they're going to get against Brentford too.
Well, all those years of patience with Arteta seem to be paying off. Now, let's switch focus here. Xabi Alonso out in Germany is having such a huge impact with Bayer Leverkusen, something quite similar to what we saw during the Klopp days out in Germany some years ago. But this, by some stretch, is beyond the imagination. Now unbeaten, all in one season.
Well, if you remember what I said right at the beginning of the season, they're going to be the team that's going to take on Bayern, and it's been proved right. You know, he's the most wanted man in Europe at the moment, and for good reason. I mean, he is one of the best coaches around, young coach. The difference is is he a great coach?
Wow.
I'm looking at things haven't gone bad for him yet. When things go bad, is he going to be able to bounce back from that? Is he going to be able to change things to make his team go back onto the winning streak? I think he's good enough to do that. He's wanted by Liverpool, he's wanted by Bayern, he's wanted by a good few clubs. So, he has turned it around for Leverkusen, him alone. And I don't care what anyone else says. Yeah, it takes the players. He brought the way of playing into Leverkusen, turned them around, and he's made a team now that are well clear of the Bundesliga. We would say that at the beginning of the season, except for myself here. I said, follow them until they get beaten.
I think you're the only one at the beginning of the season.
I know. I said, follow them until they get beaten. So, the first thing I do when I take my bets is Leverkusen go in, and I'll look around for the rest of the teams.
Now, I have to, ask you this question. He's a Liverpool legend. Klopp, of course, has made his announcement most recently about his future at Liverpool. We know he's stepping away soon. Is Alonso the right man for this job? Has he proved himself?
I think he would be the right man for the job, for the simple reason he comes from Liverpool. He played for them. He knows the whole setup at Liverpool. I think he would be, because of the style of the way he plays. It's very similar to Klopp. I would give him a chance and give him a long-term contract there.
Well, many Liverpool fans will have their fingers crossed. There's one Liverpool fan right here who certainly will have his fingers crossed that that's how it pans out in the future. But exciting times with, history looking like it's being made by Leverkusen out in Germany. Exciting times out in England with the league race looking like it may very well go down to the wire. Thank you so much to Shane. And on the other side of this, we discuss all things DStv Premiership with none other than the Legs of Thunder. Jadisko-san.